Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm sitting here with Curtis from MyDesigns, friend of the channel. What's up, Curtis?
What's up, Brian? Thanks for having me. It's always
Yeah,
good to
man.
be on.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. Really busy with the Black Friday stuff, but that's all gone. So now back to focus on the rest of quarter four.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, so far, the Q4 sales, at least in my end, have been good, at least as expected, I would say. So, actually, I'm surprised too. Walmart's been really nice. I mentioned at the start of the year that I'm going all in on Walmart and excited to see like what potential was there. And so far, so good. Any plans for Walmart integration?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something we want to look into pretty soon here. We got to get the Amazon integration wrapped up, which is close, but that is pending their review process. So once that's done, we'll let the community kind of vote on what integration is next.
Well, you already know I want that Amazon integration more than I want that Walmart integration. So that's music to my ears.
Yeah, it's getting very close. In fact, we're
Cool,
basically
man.
done with the entire integration now. It's just a matter of, again, getting approval on the final app, then we can go live with it, which that could still take 3 to 4 weeks, but depends on Amazon at this point.
Nice. That's sick, man. Yeah. The Amazon Seller Central, I know a lot more people have been doing that. I don't want to take credit for it, but I know I've been banging the drum on that for a while that we're leaving so much money on the table if we're not selling on Amazon Seller Central. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's you're a huge influence there in us getting that added to MyDesigns, and obviously it took a lot longer than we thought just because we got so much going on. But yeah, I'm really excited to get that one out, especially the way we're going to do it.
Yeah. And I was going to say better late than never, but My Designs is still in its infancy as a product, right? So what has it
Yep.
been released for a year now or something?
Just over a year. So we launched at the end of October, just over a year ago. So yeah, we've been officially live for over a year, just barely.
Yeah, very cool, man. Y'all have come so far. So, what do you have on the table for us today? I know we mentioned we are going to talk about like the personalized products. I'm super excited to see that today. And what else you got going on?
Yeah, so we have the new Canvas editor I want to touch on, basically showing you how you can create these personalized products within MyDesigns. And then, of course, edit those on the orders page itself once a personalized order comes in. And then some of the other features we build into that and kind of talk about where it's at and where it's going to be. There's a lot that's coming to it. Right now, we're kind of focused on a lot of the performance issues that we've had. It's such a new system, it's still beta, but everything's getting refined and polished and it's starting to look really good.
Nice, man. I'm excited to see it. And I feel like I should say, like, one of my favorite things about My Designs is it feels like the theme of 2023, or at least one of them, was all the new AI tools constantly coming out that we find out about through, word of mouth, or we read some article and then we stop and we're like, how do I use this in my business to get ahead? And with My Designs, I feel like y'all basically solved that for us. We just have to keep up with the new stuff you're constantly integrating into the software. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, and that was a big part of 2023. It's stuff that we didn't really expect to come as quickly as it did, but obviously we want to be at the front of that with all the AI features. We have a lot of them built in right now, and so many great ones coming next year. I can't wait to share more.
I can't wait to see it, man. So you want to get going with showing us some of the stuff?
Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I'm right here on the dashboards page, and let me actually open this menu up because I had it collapsed. So
By the way, I got my link in the description. Anybody watching that's not using My Designs that wants to sign up for, you guys still do the free trial, right?
yeah, so we still have the free plan. You can get in, kind of learn the system. When you're ready to upgrade, then you can upgrade to get access to a lot more.
Check it
features.
out.
All right, so yeah, in the left menu here, so you got under create. These are all new. So you got Canvas, which is the beta. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to actually collapse the menu just so we have more space to work with here. And the first thing that opens up, right, are product templates. So I'll cover the menu real quick. You got templates, which are going to have all of our print-on-demand products in here. And we're going to eventually add digital product templates too. It's like digital tumbler wraps, mug wraps, etc. That way you already have a template that works for those type of products. And then other templates, and you'll be able to create your own too. But right now, these are the print-on-demand templates. We have a text system, right, for fonts and whatnot. We don't allow you to upload your own custom fonts yet, but that'll be probably available in a week or two. So that'll be huge with the personalization side. But right now, we do have the Google font library implemented, as you can see here.
Which is massive.
Yeah, we have about 350 of them in here. We're going to add the entire, I think there's around 1,600 of them that we'll add pretty soon here. Again, we've been really focused on the performance updates with this system and getting some of those bugs worked out. But yes, you have access to quite a few fonts already. You can upload your own graphics from your computer, of course. So you can just drag and drop them here. And then one click, add them to Canvas, right? You just do that. And if I click this canvas, this blank canvas here, you can actually adjust the color. So you can see that it actually has the background removed. Or you can click this to toggle on transparency. So you have control over the colors there. But I'm going to delete that, kind of show off a few more things here. And under the elements, this has over 10,000 vector graphics that you can modify. So if we're to add one of these here, because
Casual 10,000.
yeah. There's a lot. And again, there's a bunch of categories here. So holidays, events, celebrations. I won't go over all these. There's quite a few. But you can also just search for a specific element.
Anybody watching too, man, like sometimes you just go in and play around for a couple minutes rather than feeling like you need to have your end goal predefined where it's like, oh, I did research and this is the graphic I want. You know, sometimes you just go and click around and have fun with it, right?
Yep, exactly. That's how you learn it. It's the best way to learn it. And we try to keep this as simple as possible, especially when it comes to personalized products. But one thing that's great about any of these elements from our library here is you basically essentially have commercial licensing rights to them. So you can go sell these as print-on-demand products. All we require is that you modify them a bit. Don't use them exactly as is. Make some changes, etc. Add some text and different things. But then you can create designs. Again, there's over 10,000 different possibilities there.
Simple one is add text.
Yep. And you can also adjust these colors. So any of the colors here you can adjust really easily. Kind of just show like whatever you want. You obviously have the color dropper too. Can I give an example? And another great thing is any of these individual layers here within this SVG, you can actually turn some onto transparency, which is great by just toggling that.
Nice.
So I just wanted to show off some of that. Now I'm going to move to photos. We have Pixabay integrated with Vexels and Unsplash coming soon. So right now you can just basically run a search on Pixabay. So put something in here real quick. So any of these images, right, you can just pop them into here. And I'll show off a few things here. So we also have masks. We're still kind of working on these. They're not perfect. But if I wanted to take one of these masks, grab this image and drop it in there, you can mask it to that. You'll be able to create your own mask in the near future and actually mask text layers as well. But just kind of show you a different example. There's quite a few little masks here you can use.
Yeah, I've done that, man, in the past. I've done videos where I use Vexels, typed in like universe or outer space, and then put that over like a shamrock for, like a really sparkly looking, St. Patrick's Day shirt. I don't know. Reminded me of that.
those type of designs too, it opens up so many possibilities, and there's always a big need for designs just like that. So I'm going to move on from there. I'm going to zoom out. By the way, you have good zoom controls down here in the bottom. You also have this little toggle thing, so if you want to move the canvas area, but you can do that with spacebar too. So you just hold in space. That's how you can kind of move this. And again, you could hold in control on your mouse wheel to kind of zoom in and out if you want to do it with your mouse. We do have shapes. These are kind of a work in progress. We're going to rework them all soon. But you can basically just add shapes. You can adjust the colors to whatever you want. We also have gradients. They're supported on everything. So shapes, text, etc. You can actually add gradients right here. So if I want to change this color, I could just select that. Let's go blue. And also select red here.
We need pre-built gradients, man. I need every app that supports gradients to have pre-built gradients, because if you give me the ability to get in there, I'm like never going to like it enough. I'm always trying to get it perfect, and it never feels perfect.
That's a good idea. That's something we could pretty easily implement. So you have just certain gradient swaps. You could click and add to
just like 5 options.
That's a good idea. That's something I'll take note of. But yeah, gradients are supported on everything, basically, even the background too, to give you an example here. I'll toggle that off. So yeah, you can add them to the background too. And you can add multiple colors, by the way. It doesn't have to be the 2. You can add as many as you want. And control, right, this. And you can change it to a radial gradient if you like, or linear. So it's up to you. Those are just some of the options. So I'm going to delete that. Let's go back to transparency. And this is probably one of my favorite features. So we already have Dream AI built into MyDesigns. We connect with certain AI models for generating graphics. So right now we have SDXL and DALL-E 3. So you can see 2 different models here. So if I go to SDXL, text to image, you have a bunch of different styles you can choose from. That just helps you get the kind of style you're looking for. It's like a digital art style. I always use this example. I'll do it again.
Cocker Spaniel dog portrait wearing sunglasses and top hat.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually change that. Let's just generate 4 images there. So let that go. And while that's going, I'm actually switched the model over to DALL-E 3. I'll run the same prompt here. So you have those just going in parallel. And you can just keep running all these in parallel too. But here's like the Cocker Spaniel dog one. So if you want to generate this, now, of course, you want to change the style, you can just go back, change the style, run more generations. It's really easy. We'll see what the DALL-E one comes up with. DALL-E's only 1 image at a time right now. Let's kind of show you that. Let's pop it on here real quick. That one's kind of cut off, so I'd probably rerun that generation. But if you find something you like, we also have remove background built in. So you select the image, and the top right, you have effects. And we're going to eventually add our vectorizer here, upscaler as well. So you have different image effects you can apply, and pattern overlays and whatnot too. So I can just remove the background from this image if I like. give that a second. And also, every time you remove a background image, you probably want to store the image, so we automatically save that to your uploads. So now you can
Nice.
see it's always going to be here, the remove version. So that way you can always go back and find it.
Dude, so we need to just stop and appreciate that, like, instead of needing, 3 different apps to get this far, we've basically done it all in one screen, in one place, intuitively laid out. By the way, guys, it only gets easier if this is your first time seeing the Canvas system. It only gets easier, right? You've done it once, you've done it twice. Now all of a sudden you know exactly what you're doing. I think that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, thank you. And again, this is just a beta. It's going to get significantly better. Early next year, we have a lot of really cool features, especially around AI, being built into this Canvas editor.
Nice.
So let's see. So I got this. So I'm going to actually go change the template to an ornament. Kind of show you an example, right? So now we have templates for any of the print on demand products we support.
So you click templates, you click POD, and then you clicked round ceramic ornament. There's also a search feature. So if you guys don't see what you want, type it in, ornament, boom, you got it.
Yeah, for instance, like the 11-ounce white mug, another example, just because like it used to be a little bit more difficult to create these, like know where to place your graphics and whatnot. So now we got the placement here in all of our templates. So it's just getting easier and easier. I'm gonna actually show you another example here. So I had that placed where I wanted it. I can also just Control-C, Control-V, duplicate it.
Nice.
Move it over, and then you can also transform it if you wanted to like have it looking the other way. And if you were to personalize this, right, you could add text layer in the middle if you wanted someone to add their dog name or whatever it may be, right? Just giving some random examples. But that's basically the templates. Now also like tote bags. We just added this cotton tote bag. So some of our templates are going to be a little bit more like this, where it actually shows the product. You can see the positioning, alignment, etc. So that's one example. But I'm going to go back to ornaments.
And so you can save those, like you could save the mug to collection and then come back later and
yeah, exactly.
tinker.
One thing that's great about, in fact, I'm going to move to my listing page this is one of the personalized ornaments already created. So instead of recreating this, I'm just going to actually copy it, Control-C, right? And then go back to the Canvas editor just to show you how easy this is. So again, like I got this graphic from Creative Fabrica and just uploaded it, kind of like the base for my ornament. So this is pretty much what I did. And I went and added the text layers here to create a personalized ornament. And that was it. That's how easy it was. I could use Dream AI too if I wanted to generate these elements or look at our element library. But I already have that copy pasted. So I'm just going to Control-C or Control-V in here. And now you can see all these individual text layers. You got the different fonts they're using. You can see here in the different settings.
And just come back in 2024. Boom. One quick change.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing we're going to do early 2024 too is if you already have all these live ornament listings, and let's say on Etsy, because sales are going to drop down after the new year, right? And you don't want to maybe you deactivate them temporarily and then reactivate them. They're still linked to MyDesigns, but you'll be able to come in here and adjust these texts and whatnot, and then regenerate all the mockups and sync it with the live listings. So you're not going to have to go and do all this manual work. You can do it in MyDesigns in bulk quickly.
So you'll be able to sync it with the live listing.
Yeah. And that includes adjusting the print file too, underlying default print file if you need to. But if it's personalized, you'll just be able to adjust that on the orders page every time an order comes in. But yeah, we want to make it that one-stop shop where you can just control your entire print-on-demand business or digital products business literally from MyDesigns. And that doesn't matter if you sell on multiple marketplaces. If you need to make adjustments to live listings, I'd regenerate the mockups accordingly and then resync them to the live listing. That way you don't lose that momentum, etc.
Yeah, this is the apex way of doing it too. Like over the years, as I've scaled my own businesses, talked to other people, and evolved my understanding of really what's possible, I feel like if you really had to go back and hit the reset button, you would want to, like, prior to MyDesigns, you would want to push everything to a Shopify store. Let that serve as like your master database with your master SKUs, and host your product images, which is always like the one column when you export that's missing if you want to like push to another platform. And I just feel like, yeah, man, like this is replacing Shopify basically as that master database and giving you so much more control, right? Because Shopify is not made for print on demand sellers. So this is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's specifically for print on demand and digital product sellers. And again, it'll all be within this hub. So you'll have control over basically your entire business, every single aspect of it. And as we build this out, again, we're just literally just over a year old since we launched. So a lot's happened over the last year and a lot more coming in 2024.
Dude, and it's going to be like flash forward 1 year, and we're just going to be sitting here, like not even talking, just telepathically controlling our business in MyDesigns because it's somehow going to read our brainwaves.
It's pretty much coming, right? I've talked about this before, but one thing I have is like a kind of a text to design idea that would also write the product listing, generate the mockups for you. So you can just put in a text prompt, generate that, but also you could voice activate that. So you could talk to MyDesigns and generate designs and have them published, right? In literally seconds. So that's something we're going to get into at some point next year too.
Yeah. It's not going to be fair because I'm a fast typer and that's like one of my edges. And then people are just going to be talking, you know what I mean? And it's going to be like, wait a second, that's not fair.
Speaking it into existence. All right, so let's say I had this ready, right? This is a personalized ornament, Ella's first Christmas, like a baby's first Christmas. Of course, all these text elements are editable. If you save it as an editable design, so that's what I'm going to touch on now. Up here, you got Save to Collection. You can see I'm already in this demo collection. So you just click Save to Collection. Now I'm going to say Test. Just give the file a name. Now I could save this as a new listing, and this is a new feature we just rolled out last Friday, or I could save it to an existing listing in that collection. So if you're doing front and back prints, you want them both personalized, that's one way you can do it now. But this is going to be a new listing, so I'll say New, put it in the main file slot, and then right here, this is really important, Save as Editable. Just check that on, so now it's an editable design. So I'm going to create that listing. Again, I already have one of these saved in that same collection, but just to show you how this works. And what's great about this, like if you ever need to make changes to this, you can see this is saved. So I'm going to go over to the listings page now. So if you ever need to make changes to this, anything that has this little icon means you saved it as editable. So now you can actually edit it here. So I can click this little paintbrush icon up here, and it'll open it up in a new editor. So if I want to say, let's go test and just overwrite, kind of give you an example of how this works, then you can make those changes, right? Very quickly. So it's kind of like a living design. You can make changes at any point.
Nice.
So I'll go back. This is already done. So that's just an idea. You can see here, I actually already have a description, I have a title, tags, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to publish this as a personalized product, then show you how you can personalize it on the orders page.
Can you duplicate the like editable one? So if you wanted to make like test first Christmas 2024 in this.
Yeah. In fact, we just added support for that. So let's just test it out real quick.
Nice.
So I'm just going to duplicate one of these. So yeah, so now you got two of these, right? And it's still editable. So if you wanted to make multiple variations, you can just open this up.
Dude, because split testing, you know what I mean? That's a big thing, I feel like, these days. Like giving the ability to duplicate and then make a subtle change to, maybe it's just changing your primary image, whatever. I feel like that's a great idea, or introducing new color, something like that.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And then even adjusting the background image, keeping the same text if you wanted, right? Different background images, so you have multiple variations. Mm-hmm. One thing that's really cool, we'll have to do another video on this, but you can actually create, if you wanted to have like one ornament listing that had 10 different design options, they're all personalizable. You can do that right now in MyDesigns using our multi-product publish feature, as long as you have all those different editable designs in each of the file slots. So that's already possible.
Can you, I guess you can't. Yeah, dumb question. I was going to say, can you take like a static bitmap image and then make it editable? But I guess the text would just be ingrained into it. So
yeah, it'd be a PNG or raster graphic at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at this point, I'm going to go publish this. So again, I already have the data ready. So it's like created in the Canvas editor. You saw how easy it was to do. Now I'm going to go publish. Again, if you had these in bulk, let's say you already had 24 of these, 48 of these, you just select all of them if you had the data ready. Yep. You can use Phrasor AI to help you generate that data, and then just go publish these.
We could get it done in like 5 minutes exactly. Or less. Yeah.
And we do have one thing I want to touch on with Phrasor AI. We have a huge update coming to that. Hopefully next week it'll be ready, but we're going to call it probably MyDesigns Vision. So instead of you having a keyword you need to associate with each listing, you can just scan your design and write your entire product listing for you. That includes title, description, and tags for the platform you're selling on. So if it's Etsy, Shopify, etc. So that's in the works right now.
I like how you just casually dropped that. Yeah, guys, like you'll just let the AI read your image and it'll do all your SEO for you. Yeah, no big deal.
Got to make it easier, right? And get back to
it's just crazy that's how, like, that's where we're at right now with MyDesigns. No other software's anywhere close to like iterating through these adapting these new softwares as fast as you are.
Yeah, and I think one of the keys of what we're doing too is you think about when we started this, the most important thing in MyDesigns is having that digital asset management system in the cloud that's flexible, so you can create the structure you need. You have APIs and different apps you can integrate right into the listings page. So now that we have that as our foundation, it makes it really easy for us to spin up new features, especially related to AI, et cetera, plugged right into your workplace. In this case, your listings page. I want to touch on that because that's one way we can move really fast, especially with new features and whatnot, because we have that digital asset management system, which nobody else has across the board in terms of print on demand, unless you look at like a Shopify, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm going to move forward. So I selected that to publish as a print on demand product. I chose the ornaments category. I already have my title, description, tags here. I didn't generate mockups ahead of time because you can just do that with ornaments, for example. You can do that during the publishing process. So I'm going to search for that ceramic ornament. And you see this is from SwiftPOD. You can see the pricing here, the shipping, etc., average production time. So I'm going to select that. And now one thing we're working on is sometimes with your editable designs, we'll fit it to canvas, but if the design itself was like bigger than the canvas, it shrinks it down. So it's always worth taking a look here and making sure you readjust this accordingly. We'll have that fixed probably within the next week or so. But
okay.
You can see right here, I can't actually edit the text, right? It is actual editable, but we want everything to be locked into a group system when you're publishing, so you don't mess with anything, especially when you're using our bulk sync feature. This is only one listing, so I can't touch that here, but to kind of give you an idea, that's why we have it locked like this, even though it is editable.
You could bulk sync right here.
Yeah. So if I had like 10 listings, you would have the page system pop up here showing you all the listings. I could right click and there's a sync option. So there's a lot of really cool things. In fact, after I go and show you how to personalize the orders, I'll go to the listings page and show you a little bit of the bulk sync features.
Okay.
But let's say that was ready. I'm just going to save it. And it's going to, of course, regenerate these mockups. So I'm going to select these 4, get rid of the Halloween one. Let those generate. Again, we also support backprints. So if I had a backprint on this, I could add it right there just by checking it and choosing the file slot. But here are the mockups. I'm going to move this to number 1. Number 1, basically, that means that's your primary mockup on Etsy.
Dude, dare I say some of these mockups are better than Placeit's?
Yeah, thank you. And we got some more. We got some more coming. But I'm going to go to next. So I'm ready right here, right? Choose pricing. I'll put this like $12.99. You could do whatever you want, right? If you're doing that like 50% discount, you'd probably go up to like $21.99 or whatever it may be. If you're doing this in bulk, one thing to keep in mind, this is only one listing, so I can just edit it here. But if you had like 30 or 40 or 100 listings, you can just put in the pricing here. We'll make this more obvious too on the UI right now. Just hit apply. That applies to all the listings. And if you have multiple variations, if it's a t-shirt, then you can adjust that by specific sizes.
Yeah. No, I love that you guys do that. I use it regularly where I'll reprice like, the small, medium, large, etc.
Yeah.
2XL really goes up. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to move to the next step. Again, you can kind of preview your print file here. Again, now you can see your primary mockup along with the print file associated with it and all the details, title, description, tags. If you had multiple Etsy shops, you could connect them here. This is just our demo shop and our demo account. And again, you could change this. I don't actually have this set up on the demo account, I don't think, but it can be another company or person. A finished product. And right, you can see here it's not set up, so I'm going to go back. But that's what you'd want to do on your shop. Set up the production partner, which is easy to do. And then it'll automatically populate right here in MyDesigns when you're publishing. And personalization. This is the key here. So I'm going to pull this up real quick over here.
Don't forget on the last step.
Yeah, the last step. So down here, you got personalization is required. It doesn't have to be because you can have a product that already is a design that someone might want. But if you want it to be required, you can click that. Otherwise, you can uncheck that and still have personalization as an optional option there. But let me pull up my ornament here so I can see the text I used.
Yeah, for the one person buying it for Ella, they're going to be like, why is personalization required?
Yeah. So right here. So basically, you can just put in your personalization instructions for Etsy. So in this case, I did please include the name exactly as it should appear. In this case, I did Ella because that's what's on the primary mockup here. Text for the second line, i.e. first Christmas in the year 2023. And then, of course, give an example, which is always a good practice. That way a customer can see how to basically give you that data. So when that's done, let's say everything looks good here. I'm just going to click publish. And now that'll go over to Etsy. And once that's done, I'll pull up Etsy so you can see that side. I do already have a live listing, so maybe I'll just pull that one up.
Sure.
It's the exact same one. So that way we don't have to go. But if you publish like this, it'll first appear in your draft folder on Etsy. And then you can just go over, you can see that's done. In fact, I'll just go over to draft. So you can see that real quick, how that works.
All right. But yeah, it looks good, man. You crank out these listings that look nicer than probably a lot of people's. You make it look easy.
Yeah. See, and again, you can do all this in bulk. I'm just doing one in this example.
Yeah.
But yeah. So here's the listing, right? Got all the mock-ups. Everything looks great. Again, it's a personalized listing. If you come down, you can see that must be new on Etsy. More than one capital word. That used to not be there, so that must be new.
Yeah.
So I'll adjust that, and then basically you can just publish this. When it's published is basically what it look like, right?
Yep.
Now you got the personalization here. In this case, you can say someone could come in and go Adeline's first Christmas. And then add to cart and purchase that. So once they purchase that, I'm going to show you what that looks like on the MyDesigns side now.
Sure.
Let's go over to listings. Let's go to orders. This is all grayed out here, but you can pull up this order. This is an example test order I ran. So now you can see this particular order. And what's great is you got this personalization request down here. So every single product that you publish through MyDesigns as a personalized product, it'll automatically go into our manual order queue. So you have to open it up. And then you can make those changes. So it's not going to automatically be submitted to the printer, which is great because you're personalizing this. So you can see the request from the customer here. You can see the information they want. So I can just click this personalize button now.
And in terms of like us as the seller, is there any extra like notification from MyDesigns sent, or is it kind of like we expect that you watch your Etsy inbox, you see a personalized order, you know to go to MyDesigns and finish it?
You'll get an order. You'll get an email from MyDesigns every time an order comes in. So once it's received in MyDesigns, if it's a manual order, you automatically get an email saying, "Hey, there's an order in queue." Basically,
Do you change the email at all that like put something at the top in like bold that says like, "Yo, it's manual, fix it," like
no,
personalized?
we don't, but we probably should. But again,
I would, because I can just see myself deleting the email and just being like, "Whoops."
Yeah, that's a good idea. Then have it pop up. So we'll look at doing that and making some improvements there. But yeah, you can see the personalization request. So you can actually minimize this if you want. But it's really nice because you can be right here on this page and just add in. In this case, it's just
Pulls
add
it right in, man. Love that.
And again, we'll be able to automate all this too. That's easy to do at this point, but we got to like get the performance stuff and like the additional features and bug fixes done. Then we'll get into that to where it automatically would add the customer's name or this name here. Then you just come in and improve it. But yeah, so that's already, everything else is pretty much good, right?
Yeah.
So now I can just hit overwrite. And what happens here is we'll regenerate the mockup for you. And it's also the mockup that the printer receives to make sure everything looks good. So you can see it's replacing. Once that's done, I'll open up the print file and the mockup. It'll probably be, you see that changed?
Yep.
So I can open up in a bigger view and see it. And again, the print file too. So you can confirm that that's what the printer is going to receive. So everything looks good. So if you're in that case, you can just click approve order. I want to continue, then click approve, and that's it. You're done. That's how easy it is to personalize these products and also create personalizable designs and listings.
Dude, it's so insane that we can do this without ever touching inventory, like from home with so little effort and just benefit off of so much work by various developers. You know what I mean? Like all this modular separate development that gets kind of brought together here, including the physical shop that like receives our order and prints it and ships it. You know what I mean? It's just so insane, man. Like what a time to be alive.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts. So the key is to simplify that as much as possible, make it so easy to manage it all.
Did you have anything else to show here or?
Yeah, so that's it for the orders page. And one thing I did, like I said earlier, I want to touch on the bulk syncing. So let me just go to one of these. I only have 4 in this, but this should work. So these are like images I generated with the Midjourney using the MyDesigns extension, just saved them here and then added text to them.
Nice.
Again, you can see these are all editable. So I could pull these up. What I probably should do, I'm going to actually go, let me see if I have these saved on my computer. I don't know if I do, but I'll just run it with this example. So I'm going to select all 4. Again, the new Canvas systems here. So in bulk, I can just select these. And you see I have all 4 selected. Now I could choose a template if I wanted. So if I was doing ornaments like this, I would choose that and go add listing file. Grab that main one and just add to all. And you can do this with mockups, etc. So that's not placed properly. So you can just hit sync here. You see that the other ones are all off sync, right? So I'm going to select this, right click and just click sync. Now you can see that populates across all these.
Yep.
So you can do that with anything. So if I had a different elements, shapes, like a ships next day label for a mockup, or this like on your main mockup, you want to, I guess, is personalizable or customizable. There's the different little tags and whatnot you can add. Or if I just had the base graphic here and I wanted to add text, give you an example. Add a stroke effect to this. This is a really basic example, but if you wanted to make, like, let's say you had 48 or 100 Midjourney generated graphics, are really nice base graphics for an ornament, and you wanted to add like your name, 2023, all these different text layers, you could just add all the layers and select them all at once. That's what I did down here, and just right click and sync. You can see that's going to be able to apply to all of these.
Nice.
So I'm going to go put that here and try again. So you can see that. So that's how easy you can now create personalized designs. You already have the base graphic for it. So it's really easy. And there's a lot more you can do to that. I'll create a whole video on that soon, but that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. There's a lot of really cool things coming. That's just some of the first beta versions of our Canvas editor. So a lot of cool things, really, a lot of possibilities already opening up, and people are absolutely killing it with personalized products already. It's only been out for a few weeks.
Yeah, dude. I mean, what's the next one after, I guess, like Christmas? Is it we just kind of start prepping for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, Valentine's Day and then St. Patrick's Day.
And then honestly, like just any sort of trending thing. I mean, I call it the gray area, but obviously there's been a lot of like gray area style niches with potential to sell year round, right? So if you're into that, like there's also obviously going to be lots of potential to offer, customization within those.
Also coming up on the election year, there's a lot of like different
Oh yeah.
ways too. Like I think all of 2024 has a lot of different ways you can look at those election years and different candidates and whatnot.
Yeah, man. I guess like honestly searching like election 2020 in your queries to just look back at what was popular then, because it's probably still hanging around on a lot of these marketplaces and kind of
Yeah.
prep your 2024 stuff. That's going to be a good idea too.
Yep. And one thing I'm gonna do with MyDesigns too is put together a trend guide for the whole year, kind of like the most important trends. So like what trends you want to get ahead of it early if you can, at least 2 months. It usually takes about 2 weeks on Etsy to gain that momentum.
Mm.
And then leading up to a trend. So another 2 weeks, you probably start gaining some serious momentum, have about 2 or 3 weeks of just really great sales.
Well, Curtis, man, you blew me away again. It's becoming a trend here.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, that was great. For anybody watching, if you're interested in checking out MyDesigns, first link in the description down there underneath this video. Give it a shot. You will not regret it. Even if you just want to start on Etsy, right? And it sounds like, oh, just Etsy. What do you mean? No, I mean, because if you can succeed on Etsy, you can take what you did there and post it to other places. Curtis is working on the Amazon integration, the Shopify integration's live, Etsy's live. Who knows what's next? We're going to get Walmart at some point. I mean, having all your stuff in that one place means you don't have to do the same work multiple times in the future. And that's what it's all about. So I love that you guys got that going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that. Again, lots of really important things coming next year. We're just kind of getting the foundation done. We have a few more key features to get done. I feel like we have the foundational features in place. So now like a lot of the fun will start to begin next year.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to be an early adopter, and thanks for showing us all the stuff in the cutting edge and talking about what's coming down the pipeline. I appreciate it, Curtis. Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ryan. I always appreciate it.